seriously, we're not thinking about keep on doing this class of thing except to dedicate myself to making other class of ways. Requestments of justice are requestments of justice and the best of respect, and concerned about International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice, justice bodies. I'm not gonna let go from my responsibilities. Reality is reality. What we have is what we have. I had a very complete day, and yesterday, swearing all the day, for the reason of we're all the day trying to murder diplomats in this damn city of Sodoma, Kirchners, pedofílicos degenerados, and them Sodoma buddies, PFA, and Armed Forces Argentina, with a burden of too much suffered, which keeps on hacking, and right now trying to switching out and recording what I'm doing, saying I never were here and it's all forged for the goal to rape and murder rabbis, amias, and everyone that can be my friend, like any vicious degenerado Sodoma, Argentina, the way I'm gonna execute them, and not before. The reality of this all delivers us into a lot of things were happening all around. And one of those things were today I were in Parque Centenario, past noon, already afternoon. And Parque Centenario is a very recurrent place for a lot of people to go and enjoy a moment, which those that doesn't know. And Parque Centenario, where for a moment thought for Policía Federal Argentina, now is Metropolitana, like the most of the parks. And the problem is that Metropolitana has 109,206 murdered from the same force, but the same degenerado Sodoma, which remains now. And I saw today a very mother of one of my friends, a lady, talking about 60 and few years old, seated in one of the benches in the damn entrance, which goes in angle from the same disgusting damn crap, Marstral and the Asvelas Avenus intersection, direct to the same lake. Where is the garita? The post of Metropolitana. And I saw one thinny shit of this lousy Sodoma, F-land, Cloeto, making the sympathy of, oh, lady, and the woman seated, talking, and 3 of them to the woman, and suddenly 2 just got apart a few meters from where they were and set at the one for the approaching. And they're supposed to be my delirious, and they were doing nothing like that, this delirious all the time, while 88 civil, pretender of judge, the brothel of the prostitutes that pretends to be the head above the whole of the civil of the world, government of the world, of La Bestia, Luciano Troviano, Diablo degenerado, making actually more invention of Sodoma, Cloeto, Policía Federal Argentina, and the whole Kirchner's societies like Cloeto, prostitutas, degenerados of them all, telling, but if the Federal Police of Argentina, of course it is the Federal Police of Argentina, are you gonna say against them? They are the government, for Christ's sake, are they gonna be wrong? Como toda maldita prostituta degenerada, como su cabeza, exactamente igual. So in the middle of this all just happened the reality. I just were dealing with a situation when one at another side, and were kidnapping my friends, and raping and destroying my friends. I were ripping out people, making my duty. The hero is Adonai, and I'm gonna be what Adonai says I to be. And the reality, I just were dealing here and there, and more extortions, and pretending to murder International Criminal Court, Mr. President Barack Obama, Mr. President Shimon Peres, and the whole of the Jewish communities. And degenerados, perras enfermas Kirchners, telling they are government and they know what they do. And because of their government, I'm mistaken here. And they as government can do whatever they want because of their commands. Means rape kids, women, marriages, young, old, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, women, men, teenagers, babies pregnant. And murdering and sending to hospitals of the prostitutas of them to saying they do work for something good. Anybody needs a transplant? After murdered are people in Jewish in this degenerados country with the pardon of victims and innocents. And in the middle of this all, not only this, but are all over Prefectura Naval Argentina, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, Policía Militar Aeronáutica, Gendarmería Nacional, Metropolitana, Bonaerense, SIDE, Prefectura Naval Argentina, making this like I were telling you. She was a whore, and she liked it. Don't you want to? And with my parties, with my friends too? Want you, my partners? Can we make a party, the three of us with you? Oh, lady, you got me my boner. And maricazos degenerados making this manipulation. But is, oh, delusional. It doesn't exist. This is one of witches and those class of fairy tales. Oh my God, don't you come with that. This one delires all the time. And we announce in front of the whole of the world, Policía Federal Argentina is delirium. We'd never do that. We are government, for Christ's sake. Are you going to believe that? And Kirchners, prostitutas arrastradas degeneradas, creídos de señores, makes the same. Everyone. And pardon for the few victims. And the reality of this delivers into. I were walking around, and I knew this were happening all the time. And I'm going to tell you what. This trollazos, and I'm sorry the word and the swearing, still, in uniform, goes all around manipulating people and making people go to public places and also with orders in the houses. And suddenly, oh, can I come in? Oh, how are you? All okay? Oh, and what is about? Are you needing to be in the terms of Argentinian for you to understand? Are you trapped around? Estás tirado. Oh, no, but are you needing to be recogido? You understand the double. Coger, in Spanish, means taking. In Argentinian means making sex. And recoger, colectar, means picking up whatever to be in the floor and putting. But in the double, you got me. And suddenly in front of the ladies, all ladies, young ladies, and even teenagers, and also men's, young men, and teenagers, men, and also a 5-year-old kid appreciates and knows how and when to taking a uniform phallus in the hand and knows appreciating and wanting it. And there's the saying, of course, with Kirchners. He says, and I can show you more than this, also a fetus. After F word, the mother, but machos militares, gendarmería, fuerzas armadas, ripping it out, says, the fetus asks for the cum. And suddenly, I went all around walking. And evangélicos degenerados keeps on making up and delivering, acá se le hicimos, with those words, and we're threatening to murder diplomas, amias, rabbis, friends, and much other people, if I wouldn't say, for the prostitutas de cuarta, to make the business of, is this holy? With the insults and everything it done, and also we're all around blow chopping and singing for the uniformed men and provoking them and groping them, and also, oh my God, you have no idea, undressed in the middle of the street and got inside, jumping inside of a patrol and groped someone, and he got a boner and killed and resisted because of his super witch, and suddenly seated up on it, and we're, oh my God, riding it inside the same patrol, and the scandal in the whole of the street and the people going through and watching it. Delirios de Guillermo Brain, Osvaldo Carnival, and then Paris, with the pardon of victims. And the whole Paris defending them. And in the middle of this reality, not only that, but I just went through in this extortions and dealing with, in this situation, and suddenly I crossed by Fajina, expertise of Cristina Kirchner, marica, degenerado. In the Caballito train station, just crossing by, which now calls Nicolas Repetto Street, before where Cucha Cucha. In the middle of extortion and dealing with the situation, and we had problems, and still we have. But I liar, of course. Para las degeneradas víboras estas, all the time. And suddenly happened what I didn't pay attention at the moment, but I understood after. I were going through, dealing with this, and while I went back, perra sucia degenerada, Policía Federal Argentina, 96,486. United Nations Security Council has them. It's not going to be no mistake with the hack and, oh, never happened. That is not the one. We're not there. The liars. Maricas, degenerados, telling to anybody, anyone, any worker of the trenes de Buenos Aires, and also the extortions of the go to the public bathroom because of we kill them all, which I don't do nothing but dealing with this, and blowjob, which we sent you, which never happened. Maricas degenerados. And telling, oh, there goes the one that's stolen to evangelics. And that class of degenerados up on the buses all over punteros and telling, we gotta brief to communities what this one is saying and also to the world, tell internationally it's the virus and its medication and tell them and show them what it does. And he, forgery, lies, and organization, this maricas, all Fajina, with the pardon of so few, all Fajina are the ones that premeditates and makes this destruction social, institutional, governmental, international, to the having the destruction of the day for the putting the attention in what they need, for the what they already premeditated, to trap easy, with the whole invention of degeneradas, víboras, perras, prostitutas, kirchners, y pedófilos, making up judicial, policial, defense, governmental, and saying, because of we come in and we are government, we can do whatever we want and we know what we do. I don't doubt you know what you do, you piece of a big word. Genocida degenerado. Perra enferma. And in the middle of this reality, not only this, but the whole rest. Oh, there goes the one that makes felony, lives on stealing cell phones, and also this son of a snake, this degenerate, telling, oh, also we're groping our bodies and all the time blowing up, and you have no idea it's a scandal that he does all over, and blowing up and says that gives a celestial blow. And also the mother is a whore, and everything it gets is for narco, and also robs cell phones to the evangelics and chooses. And them defendant, which goes to, oh, have mercy now, and pretends to be that. Brains and carnivals and cabreras, saying, oh, poor, because if they don't have a job, goes selecting the whole people of mine, telling God gives them what they has, and picks them in the street, but 2, but 3, destroys them, by hitting them the hell out, and robs them devices, clothes, documents, money, and whatever they have. Lord gave them us. And degeneradas maricas Policía Federal covers them. Everyone, and Metropolitana, and tells I do. And lies, and keeps on making up judicial and whole the generation saying, this is the devil and we know everything belongs to us. And this class of maricas are the ones that uses this all and this class of whores, because of no other term can be told at this moment. For the capture, massively raped and murdered, and robbing everything they got, saying, they are government, we have rights. Of course. And this is not from now. This I am suffering. Oh, the one that delires, needs medication. The Chari already is going to work, and the justice and the judge are going to put him in internation. You are not going to have no problem. He's a champion. He's a violent psychopath and also can rob you anytime. He's not going to be around anymore just picking up who to rob. Policía Federal Argentina all the time. Comisaría 40 all the time. Every police station. Especially maricas degenerados. Expertises of the whole marica degenerado Sodoma making, which are. And murdering people because of who they are is known. And Cristina Kirchner, bravo, bravo mis patriotas, bravo. Sirve a la patria de la maldita prostituta, cada degenerado como ella. So in the middle of this all, I'm going to tell you, whoever to hear this, you better take care, you can be the next. Because of your use now, but they want to seal in the power of the perra sucia de Sodoma enferma, atrofiada, what they says by raping and murdering, what they cut in powers, for they do not lose. And if you think this is still IRES, BRDMC, United Nations, make your check. And also HTTPS www. Why not? Am I gonna be what Maricas Sodoma, Argentina, says, and it's prostitutas Kirchners? Or am I going to be what God himself, my owner, says I'm going to be? .it. Same, https www. Y las perras evangelistas me van a mandar whenever am the one I am, and my royalty in CAD justifies even my terms. .it. F2. Last key and cleaner my site, last BLYTT is in New York. And this is just a part of everything. Already we have 604,200 and more kidnapped for massive rape and murder. And Ejército Argentino ain't no last anymore, and no one raised. Not anymore. Just rejuntadas maricas de Sodoma. Matonas enfermas. You are gonna kill me whenever I say you too, while rapes my people. Perritas enfermas viciadas del infierno. And no others are gonna be. For the name of Adonai and for the mine. Earlier. And I'm sorry the terms. Yes, a fact. September 29th, 2014, my address. I suppose being detained and forging and robbing and chunking and prostituting and making all the generations they desires. Oh, it goes, we already have it, already it's all. And now the mother, and now the rest, and we are gonna have it. He's not gonna escape. With Evangelica Enferma, which everyone goes to hell. Thank God. 2334, Buenos Aires, del infierno, with the pardon of victims and innocents. Inshallah. Alejandro Mario Blanco.